Hi, it's Heidi with Whips and Kits. I'm here for a Flosstube Extra. I thought I would, whenever I go through my just regular Flosstube, I never have time to show a lot of the things that I have kitted up. And since I'm Whips and Kits, you got to know that I love to kit stuff up, which I think everybody knows. So I wanted to go through some of the things that I have kitted up. Now I have a ton of stuff, so it's not going to be all gone through today. I have 5 of these full of things that I've kitted up. And that doesn't include my actual like dimension stuff that I have. So anyway, another thing that I want to do with going through my kits is look at things that I really, really want to start. Look at things that I haven't, that I maybe kitted a long time ago and I don't want them anymore. Which I suspect are a few things. Let me see if I turn this off, if the light's better. Natural light. I think, let's see if I show fabric. If you can see it. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So I'm going to turn that light off. And let's see. First thing that I want to show you is something that I kitted up. It's been kitted up for a little bit, but I just picked out fabric. I just want to tell you there's a few things that I do when I to consider things kitted up. Number one, I like to have a copy made of what I'm going to stitch. So this is the book, and I don't want to carry this around or ruin it. I like to have a working copy. So I make a working copy. That's one of the things that I do to kit things up. Another thing to consider it being kitted up, I have floss drops. I have things floss drop on floss drops. So this happens to have a silk floss, which I did put in a little baggie because it's so much more delicate. I don't want it just floating around in the bag. So this is GH 1857 by Soda D. I don't know how you say it, but this, we are going to do a stitch along with a group on Instagram, and I can put that hashtag down there. We're starting in June, and I happen to have this kitted up. I think it's gorgeous, so I really want to stitch this. I went bananas for it when I first saw it. It's so glorious. And these are the flosses. I bought like double the amount of floss because it's supposed to be done on 32 count, but I don't want to stitch it on 32 count. I want to stitch it on a smaller count. And it calls for wheat by Fiber on a Whim. I don't have wheat, so I do have this, which is Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. And I think that's perfect. I think it's going to look perfect with this. It's another thing with kitting up. I always pick a piece of fabric, and I do a floss toss. I so far haven't ever gone back on a piece of fabric that I have kitted something up with. I haven't been like, I don't like it on this fabric, and I don't think I have ever done that and abandoned it because of fabric choices. And then I have, again, the actual copied chart. I always like to work off a copied chart. Another thing about organization of my kits is I put them on an app. I have an app that makes, dang it, I did not write it down and I have it in my head. Stitch X something, Stitch Express or something, and I can keep all of my, it also calculates how much fabric I need. That's why I bought it for that, but I keep track of all of my kits in there. And because I have floss listed and I have fabric listed, I, at a glance, can see everything that I have kitted up. And if I need something, I can steal from something there. So I enjoy that. So let's start with this first basket of things that I have kitted up. Okay. And lately I used to buy like so many of these bags every time I kitted something up, but I was kitting so many things up that I mean, I can't have hundreds of these bags at home just sitting there with kits in them. So, and also I couldn't see what I had kitted up. So now I stick them in this. I stick them in just clear bags that I get on Amazon. This is Teresa Kogut, Primitive Santa. And Primitive Santa has all of the things that I have kitted up a while ago have just the called for flosses. And this, though, is not the called for fabric. I'm going to stitch it on Murky. It'll be so pretty on Murky. I think it calls for weeks. Let's see. What's that called? Weeks Havana. I believe so. It looks like Weeks Havana to me. Let me check and see. Let's check and see. It's right here. Nope, 30 count mocha. 2/2 on 30 count mocha. I'm not going to stitch it on 30 count mocha. I would, because, you know, 30 count, I like 30 count, but I don't want to stitch with 2 pieces of floss. I don't like it. So I'm going to stitch it on 40 count Murky. And also this has super pretty floss in it. This is Valdani Old Brick. That's, I believe, the color of Santa's coat. So pretty. I've never stitched with Valdani thread. So I think this is going to go in with Christmas kits, because I don't have them separated out that way, and I would really like to, because I love Christmas so much. So this is something I kitted up myself, and there we have it. Next thing that I have kitted up, and I love this. This is, I think I've talked about this before. Beach Cottage Stitchers. I like to buy their kits. I think they're super reasonable. And she sends you just the amount of fabric that you need. I think it's like a 2-inch margin. Let's see if she says it. No, she doesn't. This is Barb's Blend. Beach Cottage Stitching. I think I've said this before. She's not the speediest, but I don't care. I have plenty to work on, and I love her kits, what she kits up. This is the day. And I really want to stitch this because these are my colors. These pinks and oranges and brights, that is my deal. I love this. So this is something I really want to stitch. I really want to start, but I need to get a little bit further on a bunch of the other Plum Street samplers that I have going on. Next, I have, oh boy, Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. This is a PDF, so I don't know that I have the cover. I just have the pattern, I think, here. I don't think I have the cover. But let's see, because you should be able to see it. Sometimes I do take a shortcut and I don't have it, but I should print it out because, oh yeah, here it is. I got it. Everybody has seen this, right? Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And I have this kitted up with Vicki Clayton silks. Whenever I do silks, I always put it in a separate bag and I floss drop them. I floss drop most things except 103s. Look at these shiny silks. Oh my gosh. I love Vicki Clayton silk. I love it so much. So I have that kitted up with the fabric. Let me see if I have the fabric written somewhere. On a card or something. Let's see. Nope. Let me see if the sticker's still on here. This looks like old, this looks like yeah. This for sure looks like a piece of XJU design linen to me. And I have it marked with a needle where I have to start, because sometimes I just want to note that, hey, this is a big pattern and this is where I have to start. I don't have 3 inches. Usually I do a 3-inch margin for everything, but this I didn't. So I'm sure this is a piece of probably Rocky Mountain something or other. Did I write it down? No. I think it's Rocky Mountain by XJU Designs. I just ordered like 4 more pieces of linen from her. I just love her linen. So that is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I'm okay waiting to start this still, but I have it all kitted up. Next, I have Let Love Rain. Oh, this is so pretty. This, I have a piece of, I think this is linen that I've dyed myself. Yes, it is. Yep. It's a 40 count linen that I hand dyed myself. I like that. I needed to jazz it up a little bit because, and then I have a little spots on it too. Look. Yeah. Because these colors are kind of yawn. So I also pulled some overdyed floss. So I pulled this eucalyptus for $8.26. I have weeks for $4.20. I have this pecan. And yeah, a lot of weeks dye works. So it's 46 count Zweigart, not 40. And I hand overdyed it myself. Onyx for black, it looks like. Do they call for onyx here? Yes, they do. And Oscar. Onyx and Oscar are the called for. And the rest I picked myself. Just a few different things. My friend Phoebe of Moonshine Stitchery, she picked out just wild colors for her border because she was not very excited for the brown as well. And I don't have anything printed out for this yet. I think I have the actual, oh, it's a Patreon piece. So yeah, I have it as a PDF. So I'll have to print that out once I get ready to start this. And this again is not calling to me as we speak because I have so many Teresa Kogut stuff started. So I'm okay with that. This is something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, if I really want to stitch it or not. So I want to show you. I think it's so cool. This My Dear Jolene. Long Dog samplers. And I think it was X Stitch MD was stitching this, I believe. And I just love the thought of this on the blue. So I have all the chalk and this in the background. This is Banker's Gray. This is the called for flosses. To stitch it on this 36 count, Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month. I don't know what color it is, but look how pretty this fabric is. Oh, it's so pretty. And I think it's just begging for this design to be stitched on it. And if I look at the actual pattern, it does kind of call to me. So it sometimes takes me looking at the pattern to start it. And again, I have a lot of, or I have several things started from Long Dog that I have not done anything with. So, yeah. So this just sits waiting for when I want to start it. So I'm not hankering for this either right now. This I really want to start like very, very immediately. It's spring. I think this is very spring, and I think that's why I want to start it. This is Hickety Pickety. It's 36 count espresso. So here is the pattern. That to me is not fall. That to me is spring. Chickens are spring. Chickens are spring. And it's so cute. I have all the flosses right here. There's like basically all fancy floss. Oh, I picked some fancy floss too. So I picked this Adobe for $38.30. And yeah, mostly fancy flosses. So look at that. Some might say fall. Chickens are spring. So Hickety Pickety, and I have the copy made. I have my copy made, so I'm ready to go. I'm gonna keep this one out. It does have a witch on there too, though. Or no, it's a witchy looking lady with a witchy hat. Maybe it's Halloween, but I'm feeling it. Feeling it for right now. All right. This is one I think I'm going to de-kit. De-kit it. I'm just not in the mood. My friend Phoebe loves this. This is Modern Frock Embroidery. The Fruits of Plenty. What fabric do I have here? Oh, for the floss, I had 2 Valdanis. I think that would look really pretty. And then what is my fabric? Looks like some sort of, oh, it's Aspen by Weeks. 36 count Aspen. And I had it cut specifically for this size at, what's it called? Country Sampler. So it's such a pretty, it would look really pretty together, wouldn't it? maybe I like it. Maybe I should just keep it. Yeah. Big deal. I picked it all together. Keep it. Okay. Chessie and Me. This is Mary Lindsay, 1828. It's so pretty. And I love it because it's not symmetrical. It's all like different motifs, so you never get bored with that kind of business. Look at all those little guys. Squirrels and lions and deers and rabbits and cats, all sorts of stuff. I did make a copy. These are, Chessie and Me are notoriously difficult to copy because she's got them on one big sheet, you know? So it's a little annoying. Oh, also the eyelets. Oh my gosh, so fun. I love Chessie and Me. And I have this. This is 37 count. I just know it by looking at it. This is 37 count Russian tea cake. And these are all floss dropped. A lot of all weeks, and 3 classic color works. Ooh, this is fun. I love going through this. This is The Tale of Sar Sultan. Look at that. That is fun. I have never seen anyone working on this. This is a kit from Owl Forest Embroidery. And I was just so curious about, oh, what the heck's that? Oh, that's a little. I was just so curious about the floss to use with this. It comes with the little floss drops and a little needle minder and the linen. I think it's 36 count linen. Look. And I love these guys because it looks like, I told my friend Phoebe, it looks like they're starting IVs on these guys. They're all sitting there with their IV bags. And I like that little castle. So I really would like to stitch this. It's so cool. I love it. So I wanted to try these flosses, and that's why I bought it. But why are some of these long and some short? What did I do there? I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what's happening with that, but look at that. They're all different lengths. Who knows what I was doing? I've got this like a couple years ago, I think. And then the chart for this, they're all free online. But look at this. I mean, come on. It's ginormous. I really want to start this. This is going in the good pile. This is going in the good pile. It's really random, but I really want to start it. Ooh, and this. This is Turrets in Town by Ink Circles. And I have Raven to stitch it with. On this fun fabric, this is Changing Seasons by Fabric Flare. Linen. Isn't that fun? I'd really like to start this. That looks super fun. My friend Phoebe of Moonshine Stitchery has this going, I believe. This is probably just exciting for me, and you guys are like, hmm. But I think it's fun to see what other people have going, and then I always see something and say, I want it, you know. This is something that is so fun. I want to stitch this too right now. I love this guy. Look at him. This is Miss Prim, Rhonda Knauf. People Pillows collection, Mr. Darcy in Love. And he's saying, I never wish to be parted from you from this day on. I love that movie. So that's why I picked this out. People Pillows, yes, please. All of her stuff is fabulous to me. So this I am going to use. I have the long version here because I am going to stitch with 2 threads. I have this 28 count linen in Graceful Gray that I got from Witchery Stitchery in Mount Horeb. It's another local LNS that I have. This is stiff as a board. But yeah, it'll be fun to stitch with 2 threads on this 28 count Graceful Gray. Mr. Darcy. He doesn't wish to be parted from me from this day forward. Okay. You don't have to. You can stay with me. You can stay with Heidi. Mr. Darcy. He loves me. All right, another one. This, I don't know if this will even work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. This is Tricks or Treat by Blackbird Designs. This is such a small design. I don't really need to make a copy for this, but I could. I'm gonna do Merry Halloween. Trying to find the picture of it right here. Merry Halloween. And it calls for mascara, 2 strands of mascara and 1 strand of mascara for another size. So I am using a painter's thread called Cezanne. These painter's threads are super duper pretty. I don't know if you can see. They're variegated green and black. And I'm going to stitch this. This is a 12 count pearl cotton. And I have it with this up in the attic fabric. So part of it is supposed to be very like standout-ish, like you're supposed to stitch with 2 threads for the Merry Halloween. And then the other, you're supposed to stitch with 1 strand of floss with the part around it. So in that instance, I have just some anchor, black anchor floss to stitch with, or I can use 100 threes too, but I think that's enough of a disparity between this 8 count painter's threads. If you've never used these painter's threads, they're just simply gorgeous. I use it a lot in my embroidery, but I just love them. They're so pretty. So I want to stitch that. This is a fun one too. I don't know what, oh, this is Lakeside Vintage Bisque. Just a little piece of it from Lynn's. It was like $13.45 for a 13 by 15 piece. I like these smaller pieces when you get them on sale. So 32 count, and that's Barbara Anna Designs, October 31st. So fresh and pretty. I think it calls for some other kind of linen, but let me see. Days Gone By linen from Silk Weaver. Well, we don't have that. And this calls for the Valdani flosses. So I got all of them. It's Valdani, and what else is it? Oh no, that's DMC. DMC. P4 Aged White Light. That's Valdani. Ancient Gold, Valdani. Yeah, so a lot of Valdani. I hope it's okay to stitch with. Anyway, I could stitch Halloween and Christmas any time of the year. I don't need it to be that time of the year. This is something else that I have that I really want to start that I haven't started, and it's ridiculous. I have a huge fat half of 32 count summer khaki to stitch these Owl Forest embroidery Merry Christmas ornaments, hanging ornaments. I really, really want to start this. And I bought, I went to Country Sampler and I bought some, you know, because they stitch all of their stuff with a variegated floss. Well, I can't get my hands on that variegated floss right now. So we just kind of matched it up with what we saw the DMC called for in overdyed. I love using overdyed thread. So this is what I'm going to be using. And then this. I think this is what they ask you to use, this heinous business right here. So I should do one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 15 of them. I should do one of them a month, shouldn't I? And I already have one already out. I have the M out. So maybe I should do it. I think I should. Looks real pretty. Oh, and I need white too. I need white. B5200. So, which I don't have right now. I can use any white. I have tons of white. Another exciting one. Here's another Miss Prim. These are my absolute favorites. Now, these I want to start because my son loves the presidents. He loves the presidents. He thinks they're awesome. So I want to stitch Honest Abe. And when I saw Tiny House Stitcher stitching this, she did the top, she said, Honest Abe, not, oh, honestly, Abe. But I don't know if I'll do, oh, honestly, Abe, or Honest Abe. I'm not sure. And they have different kind of flosses asked for is just a whole bunch of different variegated flosses. And a couple of DMC. This I'm stitching on 28 count lamb's wool, the stiffest fabric known to man. But I think that's good for these stand-ups, you know. It doesn't matter if it's that stiff for the stand-ups. 28 count. And I'd really like to get stitching on this because my son would really like to have these in his room. He loves stuff like this. And then I have a trio, I think, of Blackbird kitted up. And I've had these kitted up for years. Strawberry Fields Forever. I have this Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray for this. I think that's the called for. It's a pretty green Confederate gray, but I love it. And then I have all the called for colors for that. Strawberry Fields Forever. That's from Lynn's, helped me kit that up. That's when I needed help kitting things up with colors and things like that. I don't need no help now. And then I have Octopus's Garden. Again with linen. I think it's the called for Lakeside Vintage Cedar Plank. This is one of my favorite linens ever, of all time. And that's for Octopus's Garden with the called for colors, overdyes. And I think these colors are perfect. I don't like messing with colors for I like to mess with colors a lot, but not when it comes to Blackbird. And then I have, again, for Yellow Submarine, I have that all kitted up with the overdyes. This is before I knew you don't do the loop method for overdyed floss. That's how long ago that was. Vintage Cedar Plank again. It's got a little corner out of it. It'll still work. That's enough for that. Yeah, so I'd love to stitch those as well. Just get out a whole bunch of Blackbird like Heidi, stitching Faye. She's gonna have a year of Blackbird. This is something I've been wanting to stitch forever as well. This is Cottage Garden samplings. I saw out in Oregon or Washington, Kindred Stitcher stitching this. And it turned out so beautifully. It's just the perfect sampler. Merry Christmas. This goes on the short list right now. It's going on the short list. Here's the chart. And then I have a Vintage Country Mocha. Yeah, no, they have Country Mocha they called for, but I'm doing it on Vintage Country Mocha. I've never stitched on Vintage Country Mocha. I like it. I like the looks of it. I love Zweigart linen. I could probably hack half of this off. I don't need the whole thing, but I've stopped hacking my linen off because sometimes I change my mind and then I have a piece of hacked off linen that I can't use for anything but the thing. So I stopped cutting it up. Mostly, unless it's like a yard of linen. All right, another Blackbird. This is Old Mushroom, I think. Yep. Raven Bewitched. I saw Heidi stitching Faye. Stitched this. Got all the colors, called for colors. Such pretty colors. And these stars are just calling to me with that repetitive action. And the lettering at the top and the bottom. That's so cool. And then I have Old Mushroom, 36 count Old Mushroom by XG Designs. It still smells like her fabric softener. This is only one box, you guys, of stuff that I want to stitch. Where did I get this from? This looks like, look at how cute this is. I don't know where I got this. But look at. cool? I think it was a freebie, to be honest with you. Got a little piece of Aida, which I won't stitch on this. I'll stitch it on linen or something. So cute. I think this was free. So I have that in my kits. If it wasn't free, I don't know where I got it. Oh, here's something I love. Four Corners by the Kluba. Love Karen Kluba. Rosewood Manor. Look at those colors. Let me show you in person those colors. This is Rocky Mountain again. Do I have? Look at these gorgeous pinks and greens. Yes. This is on the short list. This again is X-Ju Designs. Yep, I can smell the fabric softener. This is Rocky Mountain as well. And it looks like a 36 count to me. Well, it says 32 count cream, but that's not 32, that's a 36 if I ever saw one. So look at, I just buy like any cards that I see at the Goodwill, and then I use those for floss drops. Aren't these so cute? This is like a little words on there. Little cat, little shat. Yeah. I would love to stitch this immediately as well. 3 more, and then we're done with this box and we'll call it a day, okay? This is a little baggie with these colors in it for Dreaming in the Seashore. Yeah, Dreaming in the Seashore. Such a pretty design. And I have a little piece of linen for that. Look at that little piece of linen. I don't even know if this will fit. I'll have to do the math, but I think I must have done the math because there it is in there. And this looks like a piece that I hacked off of something else. I don't know what though. It's a mystery linen. Yeah, this is a tiny design. I'm sure it'll fit on there. But we'll see. Real cute. Maybe with an inch margin on either side. Who knows? Ooh, this is a good one. This is Plum Street Brothers Keeper. Carol, I saw doing this salt box stitcher, and I thought I need to have that kitted up immediately. So I did get this floss out, and I just wanted to make sure that it would go all the way across. So I did mark it off at the top and the side. So this is, I think, Ancient. I'm gonna look. I need to be better about writing down what kind of floss or what kind of fabric I have. But this looks like ancient, doesn't it? Yes. I think it is. It looks like 40 count to me. 40 count ancient. And is that what's called for here? I have the copies made and everything. But now I'm just curious to see what it is. So I have all the copies made and I have the first page out to do. Lakeside Linens, vintage exemplar. Nope, that ain't vintage exemplar. 36 count vintage exemplar. So I think maybe I got either 36 or 40 count. I think it is 40 count, ancient, which looks super pretty. I think it'll look great. I think it'll look fabulous. It's another one I'm excited to start. You guys, these are all my small projects, okay? These are the smaller projects. I have ginormous projects in another one. 2 more. Dropped a piece of paper. This is another Teresa Kogut. This is Right Jolly Old Elf. Look at how cute he is. And I have 32 count Lakeside Buttercream picked out for him. I don't know if that'll be good for him or not. He might need to go on a piece of gray linen. I think so. This is 15 by 16 Lakeside Buttercream. And I just don't know about that. I think he would pop more on a light gray. What's it called for? Sometimes she doesn't have a called for linen for her Patreon pieces. More likely than not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So, yeah, I want to stitch that guy. But I think I need a different piece of linen, so I'm going to set him over here. Okay, one last one. This is the Cricut collection. And the second I saw this, I wanted to stitch it, is this. I don't think I saw anyone stitching it. 16 men on a dead man's ship. Skeleton crew. How cute. And it's all DMC. And I'm going to stitch it on this color linen. This is 36 count. It appears to be a Be-Stitch Me. In my opinion. Yeah. So that's about it for this first box. That's my first box of kits. Kitted up things. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Just let me know if this is something that you enjoy seeing, or if it's something that it's like, no, we don't need to see that. It's just too much of a good thing, ma'am. So just let me know. Thank you.